Good morning, everybody. Mike has asked me to make a video this morning about how I do magazine covers for other people. And I basically have a template that I use, and I'll show you my template. I have all of these different types of boxes that I actually have a program for, and I've decided this morning that I'm going to use the Magazine 2 template. And so I've already started the creation of it, and this is what it looks like. It's just a blank screen. How it builds and how I build it is a completely different matter. My son is trying to start a business. He likes to play games, but he's starting a business on selling cards on eBay, and he's done quite well. So his mother is going to make him a cover, and this is the picture that we have decided to work on for him, which is a wallpaper, and I'm going to do some changes in it because I like to do these sorts of things, and so I'm going to increase the actual visual presence of this and brighten it up a bit, and I'll show you how I do some of this. For me personally, the eyes on this are just a little bit too light, so I will probably enhance the coloration in here. And I will go down here to my colors, and I'll set probably a really bright blue for her eyes. Maybe something like this so that you can see her eyes better. And I will take my paintbrush, which is huge right now, and bring it down to probably 1 or 2 points. And probably 1 will work better for her. And then I will increase the presence. So if you want to increase the graphics that you're working on, you go down here to this little tool down here, which is the zoom tool, and then you will increase it. It's already on plus for increase, and I'm able to bring up the colors in her eyes this way. I think it's a bit too big, so I'll go down 1. Now all of these gray lines here, I can color in different blues, and I probably use a lighter blue, say for here, go back to my paintbrush and just highlight some of these blues in here to make her eyes pop. And this is how I change things up sometimes. If you see a lighter gray here, you're probably best to change your blue. If it's the darker areas, you can use that. And I'll show you. I'll change this blue to maybe a lighter blue. Right now I have this blue, so I'm going to probably go to maybe this blue, which is a really pale blue, and I'll add some of those colors in here just to make it pop a little bit. And when I go back, I'll show you how it looks. I'm going to stop this video on and off throughout this to show you how I do some of these things, so you can see that once you get going on this, it can be quite time intensive, but if it's something you enjoy doing like I do, it's no big deal for me. So I'm going to bring this back down. Now if you look at this eye here and then you look at this one, we've started bringing in those blue contrast to give her eyes a very vivid look. And I'm going to work on this for a little while, and I'll come back and show you the finished product. Okay, so I'm back. What I did with this picture is I'll show you the original that we had, which was the very pale eyes, not much color around here. This was a duller red. And so when I changed it, I brought it into more of a darker color around her eyes, gave her a vivid blue, also enhanced the red and made little geometric patterns across her face here. I brightened up her lips as well too. As you can see, there is a difference, and I think that the colors help make, when you pop some of these colors, it actually helps to make it more attractive to people who are looking for the magazine. So just a little bit you can change if you know how to work Photoshop in your favor this way. Some people may prefer this look, but quite frankly, I like her with the blue eyes. I think she looks great, and with a brighter red. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be putting her on the cover, and right now we still have this original nothing. So I'm going to take out, if you see here this cover, I'm going to take it out. So I'm going to go up here, highlight this section, and I'm going to put it in my delete box right there. That was for that one down here. And then I'm going to take this out here. Now, for this one, I think what I'll do is I will take some of these colorations here and maybe do a background. I could even do a black background and have a look and see what that looks like. So we'll just put a paint in there, and we'll bring this picture over here and see how this works. Just pull this picture down. And let's see if we apply it. Now I'm going to stretch it out a bit. Now what we have right now is just her face on there. So now I'm going to create what this is going to be called the Farseer magazine. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to probably put it somewhere like here and bring it over. Now I don't like that font. I have some fairly good little fonts in here that I use to give it more of that artistic look. And I have quite a different type of a variety that I've downloaded and put into this program so that I can use it. Like this is called Handwriting Free. So let's take a look at that. I may even move this section over a little more so that we're basically seeing a lot of her face. But I'll come back to you when I've actually put all this in. We'll see how it looks. Okay, I'm back. What I'm doing here is I'm figuring out my cover. And what I have so far is just the title here, but you can't see it because it's in that red. So what we're going to do is actually add I'm going to add something for the background, probably up here. And I'm going to put it like across here. Now of course that's going to jump down over the top. It's going to jump over the top of my writing. So I'm just going to bring my writing up here. And I'm going to make this, change it from 100% to maybe like that. I think will work. Just enough to give it a darkness so that you can see it and anybody else who wants to get the magazine can see it. So the magazine title is just a little bit too plain, so we need to spruce it up a bit. So I've highlighted the title here. I'm going to double click in this blue area and that brings up my blending options. So I'm going to try, I don't know about a bevel emboss, but I'm going to try an outer glow. And I'm going to maybe change that to white rather than a yellow. So that's easy to do. Now, you can change the contour of the glow if you wish. You've got all these options here. We might try this one and see how it looks. See, immediately it brings it up. That looks pretty cool, but I'm not happy with it yet. So I'm going to bring in what we call stroke, and what that does is it highlights the outside of the lettering. And I'm going to bring back to the red. and it looks a bit too bold. So we have 3 here. I'm going to drop it down to a 2. Do you see how more defined it becomes? And maybe just even a 1. I think a 1 can work on this. So we have this title right here, but I still want to do a little more work on it. So at this point, I may actually decide to do a bevel emboss and see how it looks. Now I've got it on inner bevel here. We'll take a look at outer bevel and see how that works. A little bit less. You see how it defines the letters a bit more? Now this is on a straight contour here. Let's take a look at something like that. Oh, well, see, that brings it right out. Depending on how you want to do all of your headings, you have to play around with these things. And after a while, you get a really good eye for this. Yeah, that kind of works. I like that. I like the style of this writing. It gives it that really ancient type of look, which is very attractive. I'm going to press OK on this, but I'm still not quite there with it, so I'm going to go back to my outer glow and see how I can make this stand out just even a little bit better. Yeah, see how that can change that? But you know, because she has this white look in her face, we might go to a lighter grey here, just to give it a little bit of depth. There we go. Now there's the title of the magazine. You don't always have to have the title at the top, because in this instance we have a really pretty face, and it's her face that's going to sell the magazine. So I probably want to just transform the look of what I have right now and bring it out, expand it out a bit more, so that what you're looking at is just this look here and maybe some things hanging off her arm, and it's very attractive that way, and the blue eyes really make this color pop. And you see I have to bring this right up to the top here because that's where her head has been cut off. Basically all you're going to see is the top part of her body. So you'll see an arm, you'll see some of her jewelry, you'll see some of the design that she has on her face, but it's those stunning blue eyes that really make this pop. And you just got to have a couple of colors that work, and then have something extraordinary that will take people's eye and make them want to buy your magazine. Now, we have a couple of titles that I've got to put in here. This is one. And I'm going to put some titles where I think they will work best. And we're going to do Arial, or just a plain font, a classic font that works, and probably bring it down to an 11. And this is in black, so you can hardly see it. And we'll bring it up to a white. And then let's try like a 24 font and see how this works down here. I don't want to do too much to these headings, mainly because people don't like a lot of fuss, so we want to keep them clean. And I can do, I can free transform this and just push it down a little bit and make it stand out this way. Now, the white on this, this is a good color, but what we want to do probably is outline this actual wording here. And so I'm going to use stroke, and I'll probably do a red like you have here. And you can hardly see that red there, so what we're going to do is pump this up a bit to about a 7. Let's see, 7? Yeah, okay. You see how that makes that pop? But I think it would probably go a little bit more, so let's bring it up to a 10. Now look at that. It matches the rest of the actual cover, and you can see what we're talking about. Okay, I'm going to finish this one off for now, and I'll come back to you when I've done the rest of the other titles. Okay, I'm back. I've got my final headers in the magazine, but I'm not quite there with the way that it looks. So what I've decided to do, as you can see, we've got 3 subtitles to articles that are going in this magazine. I'm going to actually see if we can move her around a little bit. Maybe push her down this way, like that. And then what I think I'll do is I will move this up here, and I might even change the color a bit. I'll show you what I'm going to do. We're going to go from the black to maybe this red and maybe even lighten that a bit. And because this is only on 55% as far as the opacity goes, I might bring that up a little more so that it deepens the color, and see where we're at. I actually don't like that, so I might even change this color from red, and we may even do, I may even get rid of it. We'll see what happens if I get rid of it. Just take it out. And then put this up the top. Yeah, look at that. It's pretty amazing. She looks amazing. The magazine cover looks stunning. And that's the whole point. We want to draw the eye to the actual magazine. I'm going to take this up a little bit. We actually want people to look at this face, because this is what's going to sell, is this kind of artwork. And now I can bring up these headings, move them up just a little bit. I don't want them on her face because I think it's her face that sells. And so we're just going to bring the titles up just a little bit like this. And last title. Might just keep that one like that, and then just bring these guys down here. And this one here. I think we'll make this the feature, so what we may do is actually turn this into italics. Now this one here, we can go from white, just highlight everything, and we'll go to a black, a dark grey, and see how that looks. We see it doesn't really look great. So what we might do is go back to the white and then find this one here, which is the best deck. Okay, so we'll change our stroke, and maybe we'll go to a black on stroke and see how that looks. Yeah, it's okay, but I think I like it a little bit lighter. And then you can see where we're at with that. And I think probably we'll even bump it up from 10 to 15. There you go. Now you can see what's here. Now this one here needs a little help too, because this is going to be kind of, I may even make this a little larger. And this one here, again, it's all about the effect. So let's do this. This is a red. We could try, if we pull something else out of the background here, maybe, the good thing about Photoshop is that you don't have to be wondering about colors, because you can actually take something from the background and bring it in. So let's see what that looks like. It's too light, it's not working. But if you really want to make it eye pop, again, you could try a different, completely different color. Now I don't want to use blue because I want her eyes to sell the product. So I'm not going to use any blue whatsoever. However, what I could do is I could use the black, and I could make that even more intense. So we'll bring it to 15. And that actually works. It does work. And I probably should do that with the other one too. So we'll change that to a black. And bring it down here. And we'll do 15. Now this one here, I think we're going to actually increase the size of it and free transform it, make it a little bit bigger. Bring it across here. And then we'll just put the other two down a little bit. Just move them down. How do I move them down? Just use my arrow keys on my keyboard. If you've got this little thing here going, this little cross symbol, it'll move what you're working on up and down for you. Alright, so I actually think that's going to work. I think that's going to be our cover. And I may even just do a little bit more, like maybe just bring her down just a little bit more here. And then bring the Farseer magazine, free transform this size. Yeah. And then just bring it up a little bit. Maybe what I'll do is I'll have that G hanging over this picture, so I'll just bring her up a little bit. There you go. I think that works for our cover. You see how simple that is? Oh, well, you're probably thinking that's not simple for me. But once you've played around with this for a while and you've learned how to manipulate the colors and the covers, it's just going to be cakewalk. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and that should be it for you.